I'm still like coming to terms of like calling myself a writer.
Yeah, complicated. Full.
Thanks for listening to my trauma team.
Yeah, wow. I mean, even just having to hide like, a big part of your
My God,
creative
closeted
journey.
writer.
That's like,
Imagine.
yeah, even more cool and like romantic and rad and interesting. Like, yeah, that feels like it'd be a great part of your memoir.
The last time we saw each other in the flesh
Mm-hmm.
was at MoveSpace,
Mm-hmm.
and this was the first time we properly met.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, "I've got something for you to carry."
Yeah, and it was something relatively heavy and awkward, and
Yeah.
it was a bench.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I think that's a good way to get to know someone.
yeah,
Is lifting a large object.
through an awkward stairwell.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
and I'm not sure exactly what you were doing there that day.
I was packing some book orders
Aha.
for Te Kāhui Creative Writing, which
Mm-hmm.
is upstairs in MoveSpace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me about what those books were?
Those books were good segue. Those books were Wahine Inside,
Mm-hmm.
which is at Puka Puka. I was co-editing with Eric Sorkai, Ruby Makomba, and Deborah Smith, including a bunch of writing from writers at Christchurch Women's Prison. So very, very special project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
Should we like go into that? I feel like that's
Yeah,
kind of
well,
a,
I mean,
a thing.
yesterday we just what day is yesterday? Today's Friday. Yes, on Thursday, we just launched the book at Auckland Women's Prison, and that was really special because we had some of the writers there who could read out their pieces, and then prior to that we had like an Auckland community launch, which was also beautiful. But there's something about having even more of the writers involved.
Sure.
Yeah.
And when you say, their writings, are they writing poetry? Are they essays?
Yeah, we've got.
Sort of like...
We had like poems, essays, short stories. I had a lolly cake recipe too.
Amazing. Cool.
And some artwork. And yeah, Kanhini is the designer for the book, so I think really helped like elevate it to the next level by adding all these textures and handwritten scans. Yeah, I'm really. Have you had a look at the book?
I have seen the cover of the book.
Okay.
I haven't had a good peruse, but now I feel more inspired.
I'll hand it to you and you can.
Yeah, please.
Have a little. Yeah, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? What have I been up to? I've been working on my dream art project. Humans are awesome.
Yes.
It's been kind of the battle of my adult life. This thing that I've been like trying to do throughout my whole 20s, and I'm finally feel like I've carved out the space to properly give it a go, which is a series of short mini documentaries or short video portraits of people and projects that are making a difference. And it's like a YouTube Instagram series, and the idea is to have effectively a library of positive stories and help kind of restore people's faith in humanity by showing all these wonderful people doing wonderful things in the world. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to. Yeah, I've got like 6 episodes I'm sitting on that I think by the time this podcast is like going to be out, they too will be out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that feels super exciting. And yeah.
That's really... How long have you been cooking away on this? I mean, you said it started in your early 20s, like...
Yeah. I think it's just like the intersection. It's like, that ikigai diagram, it's like, it's that for me, I can't remember all the like circles, but it's effectively the thing that I think is like needed in the world, the thing that I'm like most passionate about, the thing that I feel like I'm good at, or at least have experience in. And yeah, I think ever since that I knew that I wanted to be a filmmaker and wanted to do documentary, I think, doing a series that could build onto itself, that could be sort of a platform or movement, it was something that I'd always dreamed of. In fact, I've started this series so many times through my 20s, and I would get to like doing 1 or 2 episodes, and then life would get in the way, or other projects would get in the way, or naturally trying to survive and make money and pay rent sort of gets in the way. So yeah, that's kind of been why it's been a bit of the battle of my adult life.
It must feel. I mean, how do you feel that you're finally birthing these 6 episodes?
It's like liberating as fuck. Can we swear on here? Yeah, we can totally swear on here. Yeah, fuck. It's just like, it's I can't tell you how amazing it feels to finally be using most of my brain, or directing most of my energy and my my creative energy towards this project. It's like so nice to not be so like scattered. And I think it's something that I have a lot of conversations with artists who are like constantly battling this idea of trying to like survive and do like commission work and work that they're actually passionate about. So it feels nice to get to a place where after 10 years of trying to figure that out, not to say it's like wildly completely figured out, it's at least the majority of my time is working on this project. So that does feel great. Feels liberating, and the act of doing it feels transcendent. I feel like making this project and filming this project, I feel like most aligned, and feels like honest and who I really am, and these sorts of things, and things that I thought I cared about or things that worry me just like fall away, and I'm just like in the act of making the thing. So it's all of the things.
It's so exciting to get to know you as in that way, an artist and a creative, because I feel like I'd heard of you from a lot of my friends, from a lot of your community building mahi. And so I don't know, I'm just really excited to like see you in this next era where like all the energy's going into the creative, like this creative project. I
feel like I had this identity for a while, was this the community builder, and running MoveSpace is like very much a thing that I wanted to have out in the world, but isn't necessarily my like primary art form. It's just like the thing that I felt was important and useful, and would ultimately support other people on their artist journey or creative journey. So it's nice to like reclaim some of that energy back for myself to do more of my own artwork. To which I'm curious about your relationship to your art practice and creative journey. Tell me about your medium and journey thus far.
Yeah, well, when Jenna slid into our DMs and this premise, which pitched to us, I was like, oh, it's coming at a really interesting time in my life. I think I kind of spent the last 2 years focusing a lot more on like creative practice, and I was shifting from coming from like a journalism background, editorial background, to trying to do my own creative project and giving a lot of focus and time for the first time, which was of course really, really exciting. But right now I'm just shifting into another era where I started like a pretty full-on, full-time job in the law, which is also something I care deeply about and very interesting, and learning heaps. But I'm trying to figure out how I can keep up my creative practice, even with, I don't know, this new pace of life. I don't mean this in like it's better or worse way. I think some people thrive being full-time artists, and I think I'm someone who thrives more having something else like water my spirit or my brain or my, I don't know, my curiosity. So I'm excited for this era of life. But yeah, I guess writing's primarily my thing. I guess I spend 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 now writing in a more legal way. And I'm excited to, I don't know, in the evenings or the weekends carve out that time to then write creatively. Brain shifts. Yeah.
And is there like particular themes or things that you find yourself, or stories or ideas that you like writing about, or find your writing leans towards?
I made my start in writing as like a teenager in spoken word, and I remember my spoken word duet partner this was in like year 13. He made a joke and he said, "Oh, all you write about are like girls and your grandparents." I was like, "Oh, I mean, is that true? Is that true?" And I feel like maybe that's still true to an extent, but I find myself now shifting. I don't know. I love exploring mythology at the moment and like the surreal space and really like, because obviously I come from a journalism background, which was quite like, felt like it was like a lot of, I loved it because you're leaning into other people's stories and you're like puzzle piecing. And now I'm puzzle piecing a different way where like I can go beyond the facts and go into the fantasy or the surreal or like the mythology. And so that's kind of what I've been exploring in my like current long form project. Is like there's a sea goddess that my family pray to in Longyan, Fujian, and I'm just really intrigued by I don't know, the deity and how someone becomes a deity and then how that intersects with I don't know, family stories or the stories you tell yourselves, and also of like letting go. I think those are some of the themes. I'm being intentionally vague because I used to yap a lot about my project.
Yeah.
And then I think I was talking to Saraid, who wrote Ama, and I don't know, she mentioned about how she felt very superstitious around like not talking too much until something becomes a fully formed shape. So I'm trying to practice that of like, it's there, it's cooking away, and I'll just be mysterious about it.
Yeah, nice. I like it. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Keep people like curious.
I think that then means I'm beholden to nothing, right? Like.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Just like a safety thing. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like we can like talk about like mythology or the idea of letting go, perhaps.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I was talking to Logan in the lobby before, and we were trying to figure out, is your art an expression of who you are in that moment, or do you discover that through doing the art itself, or of course both? And I wonder, as you say, with the mythology and letting go thing, do you feel like those were things that perhaps showed up in your life or were themes that then now has eventually shown up in your work, or do you find that as you were writing and the practice of writing has gotten you into these themes?
Yeah, I think I entered the project because it comes from like a real place, like the personal archive, and I knew going in, I can't treat this work like therapy. Like I can't save myself through it, and I knew that cerebrally, but I think I still inside was like using that as a mechanism, and so I was really struggling to write it. And there was a summer where I think I was crashing out to a friend, and then somehow all these other friends heard that I was really sad and struggling to write, like, and they all checked in a caring way, of course.
Yeah. Just heard about.
I just heard about you're really sad and struggling, and I think I was like catching up with another friend, and they were also working on a long form project, and also from a personal place that contained a lot of heavy stuff, but they had so much delight and joy in it. And I think I don't know, seeing someone else create something with so much joy made me like shift the way I wanted to relate to my work. So I think going back to your original question, which is like whether it captures yourself or maybe you find yourself through it.
Yeah, nice.
I think is right. Is that what you asked?
Great. That was
okay.
Better than I said that. Yeah.
No. I do think even if you try and capture yourself in it, unfortunately, you're just changing throughout and discovering. So I think it has to just be who you are in that moment. I don't know, like I think I went in being like, oh, I'm going to be so like, so mature and higher self and, all that stuff. And then you go through it and you're like, what?
Yeah, nice.
I'm still growing and changing. So that will shape it. Is that a good summary of like what you and Logan were talking about? Yeah. That kind of like, because how do you feel about that notion of, does the art capture you as you are, or you are discovering as you move through it?
I think definitely both, in different ways. It reminds me of this book that I was listening to, I think it's called Design Your Life. In the book, they talked about the idea that, we're always trying to figure out what we want to be or what we want to do. And the book asks this question of the readers is like, instead of asking like, what do you want to do? It challenges you to think about who are you going to enjoy becoming? And I really like that because it kind of takes the pressure off, I feel, of like, am I a filmmaker right now? Am I the filmmaker that, my 12-year-old self has always dreamed to be? Like, probably not. But I will totally enjoy becoming that filmmaker. And that somehow makes me feel like the art is going to help me discover that kind of role and dream that I've always wanted. And then because of that, the art in itself will reflect who I am in that.
No, those are really wise
over time.
words. Those are very wise. I feel like I needed to hear that a bit today. Yeah. Because I think I do put a lot of pressure as well to be like, I need to be this kind of writer. But of course, we're all just figuring it out, and to try and, I don't know, rather than chase the word count, right?
Yeah.
Or for you, like, chase the end product, to enjoy that growing process.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because did you always call yourself a writer? Because I know for myself that, the idea of becoming a filmmaker and being a filmmaker, I was obsessed with. And whenever I wasn't doing film or being a filmmaker, I would find this tension within me. I hear of other people who like want to be an artist but struggle to call themselves an artist. But what was that
I
like
had the reverse.
Okay.
I think I did everything to avoid being called a writer or an artist. And I think a lot of it was like, I remember what was it like? One of my English teachers said to me like, "Oh, would you consider being a writer?" And I was like, "No, never." Like, it's I come from a I come from a family where I don't know. I don't want to say it's like it is the stereotype, but a stereotype like, oh, Chinese parents aren't supportive of their kids doing art and creativity. And I did come from a family like that, and obviously they are a lot more understanding now. But the reason why they were like that is like, I guess my grandfather was a playwright in China during the Cultural Revolution, which I feel like if you know any political history, the combination of those sentences mean it was quite a dangerous and shameful thing. And so there's an association in my family that to be an artist or creative is a shameful, radical act, which is not true. And there's a lot of complicated layers around that, or it's a precarious career, or, yada, yada, yada. So I spent...
So not just that it's like not well paid.
There's
like the stereotype.
It's like there's a deep political, shameful and even though like of course the love of the arts is so deep in my family, but it's complicated, and so I spent a lot of my I've been writing since I was so little, like always writing, but always so terrified of actually trying to be a writer or wanting to write it. And I think as well, I don't know if it's my own hang-ups or on the... I don't know if that makes sense. I was thinking about like how a few years ago I was running like a workshop in high school around theatre. And in this drama class, there were some other Asian kids who were like, oh, my parents don't want me to be artists. Like, what should I do? They want me to go to law school. Oh, and I'm like, oh, I've got no good advice. I went to law school. I spent so much of my 20s like sneaking away to do art. I used to lie to my family and say I was going to lectures, and they'll drop me off at the bus station, and then I would like take 3 buses to go do theatre workshops.
No way.
I hit a whole theatre show that toured from them.
Get out.
So I said I was going to road trip with friends, but I was in Whangarei,
that's insane.
with massive theatre companies.
Oh
so,
my god.
Yeah, like a lot of I know some people sneaking out to like party and do drugs, and I know I did that too, but I also went to theatre workshops and slam poetry competitions. God, what a nerd.
So radical and cool and unshameful.
Unshameful, yeah. But yeah, I am actually thinking back to I have a friend in my English class, and she's a very established author now, and I remember I was like crashing out in my 20s, and she'd just published her first novel.
Damn.
Which is really impressive. And Chloe said to me, like, oh, Sherry, like you literally, you have to call yourself a writer first or no one else will. Like, you have to back yourself. And I don't know, I think I was like, oh, it's good when your friends push back on you.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a long-winded answer of I'm still like coming to terms of like calling myself a writer.
Yeah, complicated. Full.
Thanks for listening to my trauma team.
Yeah, wow. I mean, even just having to hide like, a big part of your
My God,
creative
closeted
journey?
writer.
That's like,
Imagine.
yeah, even more cool and like romantic and rad and interesting. Like, yeah, that feels like it'd be a great part of your memoir. You know?
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if I'll ever. No, I think that'll be the last thing I want to do on earth is to write a memoir about myself. Oh my God.
Yeah, sure.
How do you feel about? Were you a 12-year-old who was like, I want to be a filmmaker, and this is, like, walk me through that.
Yeah, I think it's like a maybe relatively classic story for filmmakers, but like, picked up my dad's camcorder, would make videos with my friends on the weekends, and yeah, it was super fun. And I never really thought much of it, like in terms of like the idea of a career or a life path or anything, up until I was about 16, and those conversations became more of a thing. And I think there was probably maybe a career day or counselor session or something, asking what do I want to be or whatever. And I think I was also super lucky to come across meetup.com. My parents were subscribed to meetup.com.
What's meetup.com?
It's like a adults go and hang out with each other sort of interest group website where there'll be like Auckland hiking group and whichever random interest groups, and then you can just join them. Actually, at first I saw that my parents were subscribed to it, and I thought they were like maybe cheating, because I was like, what the hell is meetup.com, and like, why is this coming to our family email, and like they're definitely not hiding it. But no, it's just this is kind of at least at the time I thought it was just like this boring adult meetup hangout thing. Yeah. But on that website, I found this short film festival happening at Unitech, and I went along, and I remember going there and hearing murmurings of conversations about the films that people made, and sort of like trying to find myself in conversations and just listening in and being like, oh, these are so my people. And yeah, that was probably the first time I felt a super strong sense of like community, and this is where I belong. And yeah, that definitely was a like significant moment in realizing that this could be something that I could do, or even want to do. I didn't even realize that was overtly a path that I could take, which of course my parents didn't necessarily think was the wisest of ideas. I think my dad wanted me to be an engineer, since I was like could ever pick a science class, that that was the thing that I was kind of lightly pushed into. But after a little bit of convincing, I ended up going to film school at Unitech, and then sort of have dreamed of this moment of like being able to work on films close to full time. Ever since then. So yeah, no, I was definitely a filmmaker then. Since I was young. But yeah, as I say, over the last 10 years, people were definitely not relating to me as a filmmaker. They were relating to me as, community builder, or running MoveSpace.
Do you think filmmaking is also, like, I wanted to ask how you find the intersection of filmmaking and community building. Like, do you actually think there's a lot of parallels between the two?
Yeah, massive. Yeah, totally. I think, especially the type of filmmaking that I love is, documentary filmmaking, learning people's stories, making people feel safe and comfortable for them to be able to share their story with me, and connecting ideas, like all of that is totally alive in both worlds, in community building and filmmaking. Like storytelling is a big part of that, of both of those. And I think being able to relate to people and learn about people's worlds and the things that they're interested and excited about is like a lot of what I do at MoveSpace, is figuring out what they want to create and share in the world and help them do that. And so if anything, it was really just like a fantastic training ground for being able to connect with a range of people, and as at least in in the types of films that I make, try and effectively accelerate the process of becoming friends with them, such that they feel comfortable enough to, tell me something that, they wouldn't otherwise tell me, if they knew a camera was there, how do I get the moments in which they feel like, oh, camera's not there and we're just hanging out as friends.
We're just hanging out as friends.
Yeah, totally. yeah. I think my setup's a little bit like, less, professional, but this is great.
Just when you were saying that, it made me think about how, filmmaking was the thing that you clung on to. And for me, when I was 16 and I had a teacher say, have you thought about doing journalism? Like that's the thing that I clung on to. And I was like, this is the storytelling that will, like, how do you make someone feel comfortable and want to, like, share their story, and then all the care before and after, right? Someone sharing that story. And there's a I don't know, a profound privilege to be able to, like, hold someone's story and, like, provide a vessel for their story to be, like, I don't know, shine as brightly as it can. I was just thinking about, like, I feel like maybe there's a lot of similarities in the kind of storytelling we like.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, Pantograph Punch.
Pantograph Punch,
I had heard of the Pantograph Punch, and then when I met you, and then you told me that you were the editor for some time, I was like, that is ridiculously
it's one of the
cool.
most special jobs or job hat but moments or roles I've held. Like, I think at my core, like, I'm sure I was running away from being a writer because of all the reasons I said before, but I also think deep down I love being an editor or I don't know, maybe journalism is because you're trying to be a vessel for someone else's story. You're trying to, like, tell their, without speaking over them or speaking for them, but, help them tell their story. And so, Pantograph Punch, like, itched all those parts of my brain, where, like, you could try create a platform or a community or a space and for discourse or for, like, funny stories or just, like, personal essays, and lean into the creative ecosystem. It was such a, I don't know, I learned so much during that time. And
that's so interesting. I feel like we share that, right? There was a good period of our, lives where we were perhaps a vessel for other people's stories, or supporting people to share what it is that they love, and maybe now are spending more time.
I'm curious of, like, having done that, I kind of wanted to see what it was like to go back to my own projects. But now, after, like, I don't know, I think the last few years of doing a project that's a bit more solitary, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm sick of myself. like I think I'm now like, nah, deep down, like, I'm not a good novelist. I think, like, deep down I love to do group projects.
Yeah, right, nice.
Like, I love being an editor or a journalist or like even theatre, I feel like, is quite a group project. So I feel like you got to really love your own company to do some art forms, and I love to be around other people's brains. Much better than my brain.
Totally. I get that. Especially,
filmmaking. I was gonna ask. I feel like I don't know too much, but it feels like it's always like a group project more so.
I'd say for sure. And I think the type of filmmaking that I'm doing is, like, because I'm making mini documentaries about people. Thankfully, I suppose I don't always have to look inward every time I want to create like a project that's kind of, being able to connect with someone and make something beautiful and, craft their story in such a way that it feels like relatable or interesting or moving in some way. But yeah, I mean, definitely like filmmaking, not only just being a group thing, typically the advice that people give is, write what you know. To which, yeah, it's been, when I think about like the types of films that I want to make that aren't documentaries, like narrative films, that feels significantly harder. Yeah, it's like having to, look within and try and figure out what it is that I want to, uncover, divulge,
I feel you. That's why I've been like so angsty these last few years, right? Because I go from like, I am merely a vessel for other people's work. I am but just an architect of the space, to going like, oh, what do I want to say, and what do I want to reveal and hide in metaphors?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But it sounds like you're, leaning mysteriously into something
I don't know.
like that.
Hey, the people will see. The people will see.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's one of those things now. If I like go to a party, people ask, "How's the novel going?" And I like dodge that question artfully. Yeah, it's going.
Like, I mean, tell me how annoying that is. Is it like?
I put it on myself. I asked for community accountability, and this is what I received.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I find it a little bit annoying when people ask how a project is going that I kind of find like less interesting than another project that I'm working on or something. Like people will be like, just very naturally, and it's very lovely and sweet, of course, being like, how things are going with, X project, and I'll be like, don't ask me about that project. Ask me about my other project. But I also like that you're asking about something that I'm working on. But yeah.
Is there something at the moment that you want to talk more about?
Well, I mean, I think I've been talking mostly just about this humans are awesome thing, and I think that's, it's because I think I really
noted for all the listeners.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I suppose like a part of it is like I'm hoping that I'm creating all the time, like that is the thing that you want to ask, and people are asking because they're like that's what they're seeing of me. They're seeing me being very active at MoveSpace, and it's like this very public thing, and people are like able to go and enjoy whatever's there. And whilst I love it and I'm super proud of it, it's just not all of who I am. So that's why I think I'm just like
we're multifaceted. Multifaceted beings.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I hope people keep asking me about my creative practice, even if I, am elsewhere 8 to 6. Like just
nice.
I'm still an artist, even if like we also do other things.
Yeah, totally. So. And are you enjoying the evening and weekend writing, or what's that like? Because I mean, of course, Pantograph Punch, I assume that you were writing throughout, even though it was a different type of writing, I suppose. I guess.
You mean back when I was editing Pantograph Punch?
Yeah, opposed to like writing the book that you're writing now. I mean, or at least the act of writing feels like it's now for maybe evenings and weekends.
Because before then, like those were Pantograph Punch was like a part-time job, and same with Te Kāhui Creative Writing. So I could I could block out my Wednesdays and Thursdays for writing focus. I guess now it does feel time feels different. Time feels different, and I'm trying not to be too hard on myself, that I'm not like writing as much, because sometimes I just come home and I'm tired.
Sure.
And I cook dinner like and the sun has set and then it's 10 and I'm like, okay, well maybe I'll try like read a book or write a few lines, and then so just figuring it out. But I like think I know in my gut it will be okay, and I will write.
Nice.
I feel a deep sense of certainty that I will write, it will be finished, and I'm just the routine and the rhythm will come as I settle into this new era. Because you're meeting me like 3 weeks into a new job, so
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Where do you feel that certainty comes from? Because I feel like I'm trying to cultivate more of that I suppose confidence in knowing that it will all be all right and the project will happen, and the more I show up and the more I allow the
Yeah.
energy will flow into it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what way that. I think it's because I've always had to do something else, whether that's like my studies or work to pay the rent or whatever. So I've always had to, or even the same way, like whether that's family or structures that will try and stop me from doing art, and I will still sneak away and do art. I don't know, like, and I think I've tried to dramatically
Right.
quit doing art multiple times. Like I think there was one theatre show where I was like, I'm never gonna do anything creative again,
Yeah.
and then I don't know, I'm back again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, and I am so lucky to better now grow this other career, like this legal career. But I know that I will still do art. I don't know. I think it's the fact that like now at age 27, I've tried to like rage quit art so many times, and yet
Yes.
I keep returning.
Oh, that's great.
I think that's where the certainty.
How spiritual would you say you are?
Actually, you go first. Or do you want me to go first?
I feel like I need to think about this.
Okay, let me wait. Okay, well, you think about that.
Okay. How spiritual would you say you are? I've got some things. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I relatively I was like introduced to like Buddhist meditation very young. When I was maybe like, I think my dad took me to a meditation when I was like 12. And then I think when I was about 16, I came across this Kadampa Buddhism meditation class near to where we were living. And every Wednesday they'd have a class and a teaching. And I went to that for maybe every Wednesday for a couple of years, and that sort of embedded some level of a spiritual practice. And throughout my adult life, it's sort of on and off, like a daily meditation practice, and then not do it for a few months, and then it would come back. So there's that as sort of like a foundational layer. But I feel like how I relate to spirituality now is just perhaps like a few core truths, in the sense that like things like we're inherently good people, and there's all the stuff that gets in the way, and all the things that we see and the issues in the world are just reflections of all the structures we've set up that kind of fuck up our brains and minds and decisions and treat people poorly because of these things, but we're inherently good. And I think that belief makes me feel spiritual. I think the belief that we're all connected, that like when it comes down to what we are at a cellular and energetic level, like we're all made of the same things. I think that belief or idea makes me feel spiritual. I think that the world is not just as we see it and feel it and hear it, that there is more beyond our senses, I think is what makes me feel spiritual, that there's things that we cannot know or don't know or find mysterious or is unknowable. And I think that I love, and I suppose those are a few things.
I appreciate you starting it off, because I think I buffered on that question because I didn't grow up with organized religion in that sense. I don't, I've got a Buddhist cousin, but my family are otherwise like ancestral worship in that sense. But I think maybe art or like creativity sits in a very spiritual place for me. It is a way of like some transformation of experiences and future hopes into something, and that allows someone else to feel seen or heard in a way, or see you in a way, like something mysterious happens there. There have been moments where I've heard a friend read out their poetry or watch something and feel so deeply moved that I feel like it fills me with such profound hope, like the things I feel so aggrieved by, someone else feels that too. Or I can't find the solution to this thing I'm struggling with, and yet some person unconnected to me has created a piece of art that speaks to that, and so I gotta have faith that things will work out. I don't know, like those have been some moments for me, and so maybe I feel super spiritual sometimes with the creative practice.
Love that. Beautiful.
Thanks, friends.
Totally agree. Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Karen.
Yes.
Finish these sentences.
Okay.
I'm in flow when
I'm listening to music. I'm in my studio. Adobe Premiere Pro is open, and I'm crafting together a story about someone who's making the world more awesome. I'm in flow when
I have one song on repeat for 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm maybe in my room writing, or I'm yapping with friends about some zine we should totally make, or a theatre show we should write, and we're just saying the dialogue.
Amazing. Love that. Love zines.
Love
Zines are
zines.
great.
Love zines. Karen, I'm inspired by
All the people that have the courage, bravery to create something and put it out in the world. Those people are champions, and they deserve to be supported, funded, resourced, cared for, loved, celebrated all the time, because when people do that, they are like spiritual, beautiful work. And yeah, I love it. So I'm inspired by musicians and potters and poets and podcasters and all of the people who are creating things in this world. Sherry? I'm inspired by
people who might not call themselves an artist or creative yet, but who just sometimes say the most beautiful, profound things, and care in relationships and friendships, and constantly every day. Kiran, I'd love to be known for
restoring people's faith in humanity. Not me, but my work. I would love for my work to be known for, restoring people's faith in humanity and inspiring them to take action on things they care about and treat people with kindness and love themselves, because that's where it starts. Jerry, I'd love to be known for
being a tryhard.
Yeah.
And being really hot.
Let's go. Love that. I think you're winning. I think you're nailing both.
No, in an earnest answer, maybe.
No, I love it.
Okay, you know what? Earnestly.
And that's a wrap. Boom.